I got served with a lawsuit. One of the reasons I got started in real estate was because I had an interesting real estate transaction myself. 2008, I sold my personal home. It was before I was a real estate agent, and sold it for sale by owner to someone that I knew. We came to a good agreeable price. We had a couple of interesting things that happened with that. Number one was that was during, the housing market was still going crazy just before it crashed, or just as it was crashing. And there was some, let's just say, less than reputable things going on. So her first mortgage lender actually came and sat down with us and tried to negotiate as a real estate agent, which they can't do. That's not what they have a license to do. Made her feel so creepy about just the way he went about things that she actually asked me to terminate the transaction so that she could get out of working with him, and which we did. And then she found another lender, and the transaction went fine. We got through the transaction. She bought my house. We moved. She moved in. Everything was great. 2 years later, I got served with a lawsuit from her stating that the septic system had failed and that it was my fault and that I had lied to her or withheld information from her. Now, when I sold the house, I was selling for sale by owner, but I was not entirely naive. My father has been a real estate broker for 30 years. I had worked in his business, not as an agent, but in marketing. But I wasn't totally naive at how real estate worked. Yeah. So what happened when I sold the house, we had it inspected. The septic system was inspected. She had the right to be at the inspection. She chose not to be there, but we had a licensed septic inspecting company come out and inspect it, and everything passed just fine. 2 years later, out of the blue, I get served with this lawsuit saying that the septic system failed. So I went and tried to talk to her in person. As it turned out, she worked at a local business. I knew the business owner. And, initially when she came out to talk to me, she said, "Well, I can't talk to you. My attorney says I shouldn't talk to you. You should probably talk to me." And I explained to her, septic systems are underground. What happens with them, at that point in time, my opinion was when you flush the toilet and it goes down and it doesn't come back up, to the consumer, to the average person, to 99% of the world, it's working. What else are you supposed to know? And we had it inspected.